see this arena. We're going to take a second to thank our weigh-in partners.
Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves because what just happened at the weigh-in wasn't just a fight preview. It was a full-blown scandal surge, fresh, shirtless, and tattooed. You thought wins were just about muscle and stats. Think again, because Claressa Shields just dropped her robe and exposed something way heavier than fists. A bold, undeniable tattoo of one word. Papoose. Yep, that's true. As in Remy Ma's husband. As in the dude who's apparently been playing ping pong between two queens of hip-hop and boxing. Now tell me, what kind of woman inks another woman's husband's name across her chest like it's a championship belt? What kind of man lets that slide without throwing in the towel? And most importantly, where the hell was Remy Ma while Claressa was out here making her mark? Literally, we're not saying it's war, okay? We're saying the war's already started. And that tattoo, that's the first bomb dropped? So grab your popcorn, hide your man, and buckle up because what we learned about this connection is messier than a back alley love triangle in a soap opera with no writers. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, the weigh-in wasn't just about fists. Shade, secrets, and outright seduction were all part of it.
It's all going down tomorrow night, Little Caesars Arena. We're going to take a second to thank our weigh-in partners.
Because Claressa Shields, a self-proclaimed gwot of boxing, didn't just flex her abs, she flexed a tattoo. But not just any tattoo. Oh no, right there under her chest. Bold and impossible to ignore was one name inked into her skin like a claim on territory. That name, Papoose. And the internet has not been the same since. Now, let's be clear. We've all seen wild weigh-ins, trash talk, stare-downs, and maybe a shove or two. But what Claressa pulled was a public declaration of something way deeper than a boxing match. This was intimate. This was calculated. And if you ask us, this was the beginning of a scandal that's been boiling beneath the surface for months. So how did we get here? How did the Queen of the Ring end up publicly branding herself with the name of Remy Ma's husband, like some kind of trophy? Well, to understand that the tape needs to be rewalled, and trust me, it's a tape worth watching. Let's go back a few months. Remember when Remy Ma was dealing with those cheating rumors? It's the ones that had social media dragging her name through every blog post and live stream possible? Yeah, those weren't just rumors floating in the wind. They were smoke signals. And now we know what kind of fire they were hiding. Because around the same time that Remy was out here doing damage control, dodging questions about her marriage, and trying to play it cool in interviews, Claressa Shields suddenly became family. She was showing up at events with Papoose training, in the same gyms, posting cryptic captions like some bonds can't be explained. You know the kind of captions that are dipped in subliminal sauce? And what was Papoose doing during all this? Smiling in every photo, playing the supportive friend role so well. He deserves an Oscar. But if you looked closely, the signs were there. The hand placements, the lingering glances. And that one video clip where he adjusts her waistband before a sparring session, that wasn't coach behavior. That was, what's under here behavior. But here's where it gets wilder. Because while everyone was focusing on Remy possibly cheating, Claressa was silently winning her own fight. Not in the ring, but in the relationship. Sources close to. The couple say that this wasn't a one-time thing. This wasn't a drunken mistake at a hotel, okay? This was emotional and ongoing, and apparently it was deep. One of our insider sources who requested anonymity but has receipts that will blow your mind claims Claressa and Papoose have been involved for nearly a year. And the tattoo that's not new. She's had it for months. She just waited until the YN to reveal it. One where all eyes are guaranteed to be watching. Take a moment to process that. This wasn't a surprise. This was a reveal, a flex, a middle finger to anyone who doubted it. Now, let's talk body language. When Claressa took off her fur coat and turned to the camera, she didn't flinch. She didn't hide. She smirked like a woman who knew exactly what she was doing. And when reporters asked her about the tattoo after the weigh-in, she didn't deny it. She didn't call it fake. She leaned into the mic and said 6 words that sent shockwaves through the crowd. "I sleep with him every night." Boom. At that moment, you could feel the internet gasping in unison. Twitter exploded. Instagram went into meltdown. And poor Remy, she was nowhere to be seen. No statement, no Instagram post, no subliminal bars. Just radio silence while the world watched her entire marriage unravel in real time. And if you thought this was just some messy love triangle drama, think again. It's because, apparently, Remy Ma knew. That's right. According to another source who allegedly worked closely with the couple during the Love and Hip Hop reunion taping, Remy confronted Papoose about Claressa months ago. And instead of coming clean, Papoose pulled the classic deflect. And deny move? He told Remy she was tripping, that Claressa was like a sister, and that people were just jealous of their bond. A sister with a tattoo. A sister you allegedly sleep next to every night. Make it make sense. But wait, it gets messier. Allegedly, during a heated off-camera moment at a closed Love and Hip Hop production meeting, Remy Ma confronted Claressa directly. Eyewitnesses say Remy screamed, "You want to be me so bad it's embarrassing." To which Claressa calmly responded, "I don't want to be you, baby. I already got what you lost." Yep, that happened. Allegedly. And now with this tattoo out in the open, it's like Claressa is drawing a line in the sand. She's not just stepping into the ring, she's stepping into the relationship. And judging by the way she carries herself, she's not backing down. The irony, Claressa has always called herself the GWAT, the greatest woman of all time. But followers are now speculating if she meant boxing or husbands. Papoose, for his part, hasn't said much. No public statement, no press release, just a shady IG story that said, "Real ones move in silence. That's why I don't say much." Convenient. But here's the kicker. Sources say that tattoo isn't the only thing Claressa's rocking these days. Rumors are flying that she's also wearing a custom bracelet gifted by Papoose himself. You know, the one that Remy was wearing in that old anniversary photo from years ago. Yeah, that one. He took it back and gave it to Claressa. It's not just messy. That's disrespectful on a Hall of Fame level. Fans are taking notice. One TikTok video pointing out the same bracelet has already hit 3 million views in 24 hours. The comments are brutal. One user wrote, "Remy's out here writing bars while Claressa's writing vows." Another said, "She isn't fighting for belts anymore. She is fighting for husbands." And look, this isn't just about celebrity gossip anymore. This is about betrayal, power plays, and public humiliation. Claressa knew exactly what she was doing when she pulled off that coat. And the tattoo that wasn't just ink. It was a message to Remy, to the fans, and to the world. And we're only just getting started. Because what came next? Oh, you're not? Ready? Because what came next? Oh, you're not ready. Right after the tattoo reveal, the entire vibe around the weigh-in shifted. Fans weren't even focused on the fight anymore. Cameras weren't. Zooming in on gloves, muscles, or her opponent. They were glued to that tattoo and Claressa's confident smirk. And guess who was spotted backstage? That's Joe trying to diffuse tension before it explodes. Apparently, he got wind that Remy Ma was planning to pull up unannounced. And let's just say the last thing boxing promoters wanted was a hip-hop showdown at a sports arena. Now, while Claressa was doing interviews about staying focused and not letting drama distract her, her phone was allegedly blowing up. Not with congratulations, but with warnings. Our insider claims that Rhee's team sent Claressa a legal threat. Yep, a cease and desist letter demanding that she stop using the Papoose brand for publicity. Yes, you heard that right. Calling Papoose a brand now, which says a lot. But Claressa, she didn't blink. She allegedly replied with a voice note that said, "Tell her I don't need his name to shine, but I wear it anyway." And then she posted a mirror selfie. Tattoo visible. No caption. That's not passive-aggressive. That's aggressively aggressive. Meanwhile, popular reaction. Oh, it got vicious. Twitter turned into a boxing ring of its own. One side was Team Remy calling Claressa every name in the book: homewrecker, side girl with muscles, husband snatcher of the decade. On the other side, they were praising her like she was Cleopatra and the tattoo was her royal decree. But let's not act like the drama stayed online. Oh no, things escalated fast because that night Remy Ma allegedly confronted Papoose at a private dinner in New Jersey, where he was supposed to be meeting with producers for an upcoming reality spinoff. According to the waitstaff at the restaurant, Remy stormed in, slammed her purse on the table, and said one sentence. So that's what we're doing now. Witnesses say Papoose tried to stand up and calm her down, but she wasn't having it. She tattooed your name while you were still in my bed and informed him, quote, "You couldn't even lie well." Oof. But guess what? Papoose allegedly said back, "It's not what you think." Traditional, that's when Remy reportedly laughed like one of those scary deadpan laughs and walked out without another word. Moments later, Claressa uploaded a story of herself, sipping wine in a hotel robe with a caption, "When he chooses serenity over noise." Now, was that a coincidence or a full-on clapback in real time? And if you thought that was peak drama, buckle up because a new player entered the talk. Tasha K. That's right. Everyone's favorite messy YouTube investigator dropped a expose titled "Papoose has been creeping with Claressa since 2023. Exclusive DMIs and flight logs." And baby, it was explosive. Tasha claimed to have receipts, text threads, hotel check-ins, and even FaceTime screenshots showing Papoose shirtless in what looked a lot like Claressa's Miami condo. She even brought on a friend of the family who claimed that while Remy was filming in Atlanta, Claressa and Papoose were spotted taking a vacation together in the Bahamas. This same friend claims they shared a room and that staff remembered them because Claressa requested rose petals on the bed. This stuff cannot be made up. Or maybe if we just did. It gets worse though, because according to the same source, Remy Ma and Papoose were secretly split up for 3 months earlier this year. Additionally, at that time, Claressa slid in like a heavyweight with perfect timing. Allegedly, she played. This sympathetic friend helped him navigate the breakup, eventually replaced Remy in every possible way, messaging, calling, and even cooking his meals. Then according to Tasha's guest, that's when Claressa got the tattoo. Not as a stunt, not for clout, but because she genuinely believed she had one. That she was the one. And maybe she was. Because after the weigh-in, someone leaked footage of Claressa and Papoose together at an after-party. In the video, you can clearly see them whispering and laughing, and at one point, he kisses her forehead. Not a club hookup kiss. Not a drunken mistake. A gentle, intentional kiss on the forehead. That type speaks for itself without uttering a word. The backlash was immediate. Fans, bloggers, and even past romantic partners and hip-hop cast members began to voice their opinions. Yandin Day Smith tweeted, "I don't like women who build themselves up by tearing another queen down." Erica Amina posted a meme that said, "Sis, if he'll cheat with you, he'll cheat on you." And then she liked a comment that said, "Claressa is about to get dropped quicker than her next opponent." Even Joe Button got involved, ranting on his podcast about how boxing needs boundaries and that this is the most Brooklyn love triangle ever. He even suggested this whole thing could be a rollout for a new reality show called Gloves Off. Love, lies, and left hooks. But let's talk about Remy again, because here's where she finally broke her silence. 2 days after the wane, Remy uploaded a black and white shot of herself in a studio booth looking concentrated and icy cold. Y'all are going to feel this one. That's it. There is only a threat in the form, with no direct shots or names mentioned, in a verse. Let's not forget that Remy is not new to this. She survived jail, label drama, beefs, betrayal, K and the Bronx. She's not going to let some boxing chick with a tattoo knock her off her game. However, this one hit differently, as you could tell. Meanwhile, Claressa posted another cryptic message. You can't lose what was never yours. The shade is imminent. The internet shook, as though this soap opera couldn't get any more chaotic. Screenshots purportedly taken from Papoose's burner phone that showed him sending both women love texts on the same day were leaked. In one message, he tells Remy, "You'll always be my wife." In another sent, just an hour later, he tells Claressa, "You're my peace." Same timestamp, same energy, total disaster. This isn't just messy. This is a romantic masterclass, multitasking. But what's truly scary is what one unidentified producer claimed that a proposal may have already transpired. Allegedly, Claressa informed close friends that Papoose handed her a promise ring during training camp in Detroit. And sure, it was etched, not with her name, but with the words, "I choose you." If that's true, we've passed messy. We've reached a betrayal of biblical proportions. And now, as the internet continues to dissect the key point is still who is actually in charge of this, regardless of the tattoo, caption, or silence. Because while Claressa is flaunting tattoos and stealing headlines, Rhee's quietly crafting lyrics that might just destroy them both. And Papoose, he's playing chess in a minefield where every move could blow up everything he's ever built. But just when you thought this was as far as the rabbit hole went, goes, the rabbit grabbed a mic, got on IG Live, and hauled everyone with it. Because in a startling turn of events that nobody anticipated, a former Papoose assistant, let's call her, Keisha, went viral with a claim that she had walked in on Claressa and Papoose in a hotel suite a month before Remy declared her trial. Separation. And get this, she says Claressa wasn't even surprised to see her. The assistant even displayed a hazy video and claimed that she smirked as she said, "Tell Remy I'll be here when she's done pretending," of what looked like Claressa in a robe, sitting on Papoose's lap, laughing while he played music from his laptop. Okay? No faces clearly visible, but the voices unmistakable. Papoose's classic yo-yo, hold up, echo, and Claressa's recognizable laugh. Claressa stayed silent, unconcerned, until she finally broke her silence with a single brief post, even though this live stream was receiving views by the second. They're upset because it's true. You tell me now who leaves. Unless there is something genuine to defend, this is their method of calling out jealousy. Meanwhile, Remy posted a message on Instagram stories that completely shocked viewers just hours after Kesha's live performance. Over a black screen, she wrote, "You aren't the first, and you won't be the last. But I'll be the one who makes sure you both remember this. It was simple. It was cold." And that sent a message. But what kind of L are we talking about here? Because this wasn't merely emotional anymore. Rumor has it that Remy Ma has started pursuing legal action. Not only for divorce, but also for brand deception and image slander. Apparently, there's a stipulation in one of Papoose's joint business endeavors with Remy that bans either of them from public love entanglements while under contract for a new VH1 series. If that clause was violated, and if Claressa is dragged into the suit as a co-defendant, this scandal could cost them millions. Multiple sources suggest VH1 has already frozen taping for the impending reality show. There's talk of cutting Papoose entirely, and you know what it means? Claressa didn't. Just step into a ring. She might be in a financial quagmire. But the timing here is suspicious too. Just days following the tattoo reveal, a strange leak showed up on Reddit. An alleged contractual email between Papoose and Claressa's team for a co-branded fitness campaign. The headline, a few objectives, and the fall promotion. Fall promotion. In the sense of a planned rollout, it's beginning to appear that this tattoo moment was purposefully released rather than simply occurring. It's a rogue stunt that's getting worse. Both women are constantly being bombarded by paparazzi. Recently, Claressa was seen evading inquiries outside of a Los Angeles gym. One reporter yelled, "Did Papoose really say he loves you?" Claressa didn't even flinch. She simply flashed her bracelet and put on her headphones. After saying, "Yes, the same one Remy used to wear," he left. But the public isn't letting this go. A fan spotted Papoose shopping alone in Manhattan and caught a blurry clip of him talking on the phone. Pacing and saying, "I told her I didn't want a public. This isn't what I wanted." You can barely make out the words, but fans are convinced. It's about Claressa. And that this whole thing might backfire. Because here's the thing. For a while, it looked like Claressa had won. She had the spotlight, the tattoo, and the man. But now she's becoming the villain in a narrative she thought she controlled. Even though the boxing champion is skilled, the general public believes that he is a heavyweight. She is unable to KO, and in a plot twist straight out of a telenovela, a new woman has entered the story. Y'all are so busy watching Remy and Claressa, but he was at my place last week. A model named Maya, who has been featured in a few underground hip-hop videos, wrote into the camera while sipping champagne on Instagram. The internet exploded. Within hours, bloggers dug up photos of Maya wearing the same hoodie Papoose was seen in just days earlier. A screenshot of an Uber receipt showing a pickup from Papoose's address was then shared by Maya. The timestamp is the morning after Claressa's weighing. So now we're dealing with a full-blown quadruple entanglement, and fans are exhausted. Top tweet summed it up best. "This isn't a triangle. Inside a love octagon is a boxing battle." But while everyone's playing detective, Remy Ma is playing chess. She's reportedly booked to major interviews. One with Angie Martinez and another with The Breakfast Club. Do you understand what that means? Her silence will soon be broken with a vengeance. Word is she's planning to tell her side of the tale. No filters, no PR cleanup. Ree's bars cut deeper than any boxing glove. So Papoose and Claressa had better duck if that occurred. Not to mention that she now has nothing to lose. She's pissed. She's powerful. Additionally, her fan base is the type that can turn suffering into gold. So where does this all leave us? 3 public individuals, 1 tattoo, endless falsehoods, broken contracts, IG levels, burned bridges. And now possibility lawsuits and network fallout. What started as a boxing wine-ass turned into the most scandalous breakup of the decade. And as for Papoose, the man who was once praised as the model for black love, he's now trending for all the wrong reasons. The silence he thought would protect him is now being used as evidence. Every time he dodges a camera, every time he avoids a question, the public fills in the blanks, and they're not painting him as a hero. And Claressa, her legacy is on the line. She might have strolled into that ring with confidence and a tattoo, but now she's getting dragged into a scandal that's greater than any title match. Her opponents aren't just other combatants. They're lawyers, bloggers, fans, and a woman who's been through hell and isn't terrified to burn it all down. Additionally, Remy Ma is focused and not just hurt, the same woman again. Furthermore, the target is more than just a cheating man this time. It's a betrayal she never saw coming from a woman she might have once called a friend. So what happens next? Will Claressa's career be ended by Remy suing her? Will VH1 shut everything down? Is Papoose going to say anything? Or will another woman turn up with a story? One thing's for sure, this is no longer about a tattoo. It's about power, pride, and the public disintegration of a love story that was never as beautiful as it seemed. And now it's your time. Do you think Claressa went too far? Is Papoose playing both sides the entire time? And is Remy about to drop a diss track that takes them both out? Comment below. Hit that like button if you're still in shock. And subscribe if you want more unedited, jaw-dropping truth bombs like this one. Because at Global Celeb, we don't spill teeth.